Welcome folks, I'm David Chandler, a private pilot since 1994. I took a 20-year pause from flying while raising my family and caught my second wind in aviation in 2020. I'm not an aviation authority or flight instructor, although I might grow up to be one someday, but I do enjoy sharing my discoveries and rediscoveries on YouTube in order to help us all become more proficient and safer pilots. You're watching me pre-flight Sarah, my 1983 Turbo Saratoga. She's been a sweet machine and I've learned a ton about aircraft ownership, which I plan to share on this channel also. Well, I've got my flight plan loaded and I've already picked up my IFR clearance, so let's get rolling. My panel is mostly glass, so I sometimes call Sarah my flying computer. This morning I'm headed from Louisville Bowman Field, which has a special place in my heart because I flew here from Iowa in a Cessna 172 over 25 years ago to visit family. Here I met a university engineering professor who owned a 6-seat Bonanza and a hangar. I thought, wow, maybe someday I could get a more comfortable plane of my own. I've been blessed to have a good career in software engineering, and now I'm blessed with a plane of my own as well. This morning I'm headed from Louisville Bowman Field to Newnan, Georgia, south of Atlanta. And it's going to be an interesting flight because I'm flying through a heavy rain system with some unavoidable yellow on the radar returns. I've had a close look at the weather and PIREPs, and I don't see any signs of convective activity, just mist and rain, so it's really quite a nice IFR day en route. Let's get up there. You probably noticed that little distraction on the dash as the camera cable fell down. It's one of the reasons we need to have secure camera mounts. The clip is actually working pretty well, so at least the whole camera didn't fall off. Also, I'm not used to seeing trees at the end of the runway, flying mostly in Colorado. It's a good reminder to check runway lengths. At Louisville, Bowman Field actually has fairly short runways. I think the longest is 3,800 feet, so it could become an issue with density altitude. You can see Louisville downtown right off the nose of the aircraft now, and we'll begin our turn shortly to the heading assigned for the interestingly named Air Devil departure out of Bowman Field. You'll also see Louisville's main commercial airport, Stanford Field, coming up here just under the nose. Departure was very smooth, and I was soon to be impressed with the Kentucky countryside. One of the things I love about flying the Saratoga is the unique perspective of God's creation that you can't get from the ground or from a commercial airliner. I've put together about a minute of footage here for you just to enjoy some of the amazing scenery in Tennessee and Kentucky.
Number 43161, contact Atlanta, center 133.6.
336, 161. Atlanta Center, Saratoga 43161 with you, 5,000.
Center 43161, Atlanta Center, under the cross altimeter 3015.
161.
I've been watching the weather ahead pretty closly, And as you can see, there was an area of heavy precipitation on my route, so I thought it would be a pretty good time to contact ATC.
Atlanta 43161 showing moderate precip ahead on my ADS-B weather. Any reports of people getting through that, or are they having to deviate around the lighter areas?
Number 161, I had one aircraft at 6,000 deviate around the Hinch Mountain area. If you'd like, I can kind of pick a few maybe airports for fixes to get you around the heavier stuff.
Yeah, if you can get me around that, that's probably a good idea. 161.
Alright, let me come up with a few fixes and I'll let you know.
Roger, thanks.
Atlanta Center suggested airport fixes, which is going to be really nice. In the event that we encounter heavy turbulence, I can just land. It's also extra comforting as we begin to head into the precipitation and the poor visibility here.
Number 161, you ready to copy?
Affirmative, 161.
Number 161, clear direct to the Cleveland Airport, which is Romeo Zulu Romeo. And then direct to 49 Alpha Airport. And then direct to Rome. VOR registered unchanged.
Okay, 43161 cleared to the Romeo Zulu Romeo Airport, then direct 49 Alpha, and then to Rome, which is the Romeo Michael VOR.
Number 161, read back correctly.
All right, so center has given us a nice routing around some of the heaviest precipitation here. Let's see how that changes our fuel situation. Because we're going to need 25 gallons from here, so we just got to have a 25 gallon reserve. That looks good. That's plenty to get us around. I'm glad I put in an extra 10 gallons this morning. And it looks like the routing that they've given us, a little hard to see, but it looks like he's going to take us out.
So 2207, Atlanta, Roger, call me 10-200.
Is looking south, so we're going to go out to the east of the heaviest precipitation there, and then kind of cut across and back in over Atlanta. So that's a great routing from Atlanta Center. That's going to help us out a lot.
Number 161, contact Chattanooga approach 125.1. Just advise them if you want any more vectors around the weather.
Will do. Thanks for your help. 25.1, 161. Chattanooga approach, Saratoga 43161 with you. 5,500, climbing 7,000.
161, Chattanooga approach, good at approach. Good morning, Chattanooga altimeter 3016.
Roger, 161. All right, we'll keep it a little slower here just since we're in the weather, in the soup. Well, this is the real deal. In this loop, flying through moderate precipitation, yellow returns on the ADS-B, but it's actually pretty smooth, and the rain doesn't seem to be especially heavy. Not sure my camera out there on the wing is going to survive. I can't remember if it's waterproof or not. Don't have a waterproof case for it, but that it's in pretty tight into the extra battery, the
Descend maintain full without.
Digipower extra battery, so it might be all right. We'll see.
161, safe flight conditions.
Yeah, 161, we're also between layers. I can see the ground every now and then. It's pretty smooth.
All right. You are in the area of heavy precipitation that I'm depicting, so there must be above you and drying out a little bit before it hits the ground.
Excellent. Do you show similar precipitation? If I were to go direct Noonan from this point, would it be any worse than this?
So 161, that's everything's showing about the same. You're now in an area of what I'm depicting as moderate precipitation that continues for at least the next, say outside of my radar would be at least another 50 miles. The next precipitation on your route of flight to Gilmer County is at starting to 12 o'clock and about 5 miles, about 5 miles in diameter, and slowly moving to the east and northeast. Direct Noonan would put you through basically that same area as well, but I'm not sure what's south of that.
Okay, I'll stay on course till Gilmer County and then maybe go direct after that.
Sounds good. And Atlanta Center will be able to keep you better advised of that weather once you get just a little bit south of Gilmer. I'm not sure what's depicted down there, but it looks like, at least for the most part, most of it is going to be in the vicinity between you and Gilmer, and then it starts to lighten up a little bit. But Atlanta Center will definitely be able to keep you better advised of that.
Sounds good. Thanks for your help, 161. Engine temps are still good after the climb, but they'll probably climb back up here a little bit. We're above freezing, 7 degrees Celsius on the digital gauge, and just about 1 degree on the analog gauge. But I think that one reads low and that one reads high, so somewhere in there. We're not freezing on the wings yet, that's the main thing.
Sure, 161 area of heavy precipitation just south of Cleveland Airport, about 3 miles in diameter.
Roger, 161.
Right, 53 is an area of moderate precipitation, heavy precipitation, 1 o'clock being in about 5 miles, about 8 miles in diameter from the south to the north and eastbound. Advising you like to go direct volunteer.
Oh, we flew through that stuff. It's only light to moderate rain, so go ahead, direct volunteer, direct 53.
Direct 53, clear direct volunteer. If you need any deviations, just advise.
We'll call direct volunteer, direct 53.
When you're up here in the soup, it sure is comforting to hear other planes talking to ATC who are making it through without difficulty.
Atlanta Center, it looks like 43161's probably gone through the worst of it. Can I go direct Noonan at this point?
161.
Affirmative.
Or 161, clear direct Rome.
Direct Rome, 161.
Or 161, clear direct the destination.
161, direct destination.
Number 161, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend, maintain 6,000, 161.
Good morning, Cirrus 791 Golf Tango, just level at minor with a request.
Number 791 Golf Tango, Atlanta Center, Knoxville, altimeter 3014, 30 plus.
3014, if we could go just a little bit more to the east, all the weather appears to be off our left wing to the west, so if we could avoid Nello and go a little bit more eastbound, that would be great.
Number 1 Golf Tango, clear direct, what about direct to the field?
Well, that's even better, thanks for your help.
1 Golf Tango, clear direct to Knoxville Airport.
Direct Tango Yankee Sierra, Cirrus 791 Golf Tango.
That little interaction with the Cirrus pilot made me smile because he was politely asking for a more expedient routing, and ATC was actually very happy to comply, giving him the most direct routing possible. And I find that ATC really goes out of their way for small planes in particular to give us direct routings and help us with the weather, as you've seen this entire flight. I was in the soup about 45 minutes, but I've cut out a lot of that of the flight for expediency for everyone watching. We're about to come out of the clouds and see if our instrument approach has lined us up correctly, and sure enough, have runway in sight. Unfortunately, my GoPro on the dash was not recording all the cockpit audio from the middle of the flight, so I couldn't share with you all the instrument procedures, but hopefully we'll get that in future videos. So we're lined up nicely for an approach here. Did hit my head on the ceiling once when I was going through the heavy precipitation, so I called and made a PIRAP of light to moderate turbulence. At least out here in Denver, where we have a lot of wind, we don't consider it moderate turbulence until you hit your head on the ceiling in a small plane. Maybe other places have different standards, I don't know. I'll go ahead and speed it up here. Just couldn't bring myself to do a hard break in the footage, because once you have an airport in sight, you should keep it in sight. But all in all, a successful flight today, I think. Learned a lot. Learned what yellow radar returns look like when they're not convective, and what that feels like on an IFR flight plan. Wasn't too bad, and I'm glad to be back visiting our family in Georgia, which is also very beautiful, as you can see. The final approach to the airport is kind of interesting here. It comes over a couple of big distribution warehouses on I-85 and puts you down right on a nice long runway. Just one final reminder that just because I do something in an airplane doesn't mean you have to do it too. Thanks for watching my first YouTube video, and until next time, watch your airspeed.